Hey friends. Whew. I think I'm finished with that one arrangement that was driving me a little crazy. I think I'm there. Or at least I'm ready to ship it off and get feedback. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a crazy life. What a crazy job. The things we do for art. I mean, it was super fun. It's so much fun to imagine, to do the technical work of putting something together and then imagine how it will live when it lives, when it comes to life through actors, through singers, through instruments, in a space. It's going to be very fun. But I had a really, so just going all the way back to the beginning, the start of this day, I had a really lovely start to the day. I got up early and I knew I needed to get to work, so I kept my Qigong and my meditation kind of short. But I still got a good session of both, actually. And I said something yesterday on my post that stuck with me, which is when I'm playing the angry tape, as I call it, which basically, if you haven't been watching my recent posts, I've been noticing this thing I do where basically a certain emotion, generally, I was calling it righteous indignation, but a kind of like indignant, angry frustration, just is an emotion that I'm clearly addicted to. It's a feeling I'm addicted to because that's the only explanation for why I keep rehearsing thoughts that let me feel that feeling. So that's what I've been observing over the past couple of days. And I said something yesterday where I said, on the post, I was talking about, what could I, if with the energy and the time that I'm investing in that emotion, and in all the thoughts and situations that I'm imagining and undoubtedly creating that allow me to feel that feeling, what if I put my attention instead on how much I love Annalise and just felt her for a little while? And so this morning in meditation, I wasn't inclined to feel righteous indignation or frustration or any of that really, but I remembered, what if I just think about Annalise? And so I sat there, and it was like my heart started to open, my body, I got this kind of tingling energy throughout my whole body. I just imagined her sleeping. And then I imagined her healing because she's had kind of a cough. And she woke up without her cough. And it was amazing. It was amazing to feel the shift in my whole psyche, my whole day, really, based on putting my attention there, putting my attention on someone that I just love beyond all belief, and for whom my love is an important support. You know, it makes me realize, like, what am I doing when I'm putting all my attention on this anger and this frustration? What am I doing? Don't I have more important things to feel? and so that was just kind of that was what struck me this morning, and I think, you know, it was really kind of fortuitous that I thought this through yesterday, because it really did kind of give me a I feel like it's given me a new, you know, Pavlovian association, which is when I sit down to meditate and I'm rehearsing anger, my mind immediately flickered up with, what if you put your focus on love? What if you put your focus on something, you know, like Madeline says, let your heart open. Let it break. Because, man, when I imagine my daughter, you know, lying in her bed, sleeping, getting ready for the day, I can't possibly be angry. There's no such thing. Remarkable. And it helped me today, as I was kind of gunning for the finish on this arrangement. I just felt like I was a little more present. Like I remembered to get up and do my exercises certainly didn't do them every 30 minutes. I keep saying I'm going to set timers for 30 minutes, but that somehow never happens. But I got up several times today and did a little bit of stretching and did a little bit of, you know, what I do. It makes a big difference. It really does. I still went down the rabbit hole a little bit, because I had to finish today. I didn't really have a choice. I had to hand it off to the composer and copyist tomorrow. But so, and I knew I was within striking distance. But there's always another thing. Always another thing. But anyway, what a beautiful life. What a beautiful life. And what an amazing process when we remember to just put our focus on love. You know, I think the thing that really kind of clinched it for me was, because of course on some level, you know, that's like the most cliche thing you can, self-help cliche you could ever possibly say. Put your focus on love instead of on anger. Like, what, you know, how much would you pay for a weekend where they were teaching that? You know, it seems so obvious, and yet it actually had to sink in. It actually had to, I had to feel myself doing the opposite. And I had to feel myself, I had to witness the cost of doing the opposite. I had to witness that the cost of doing the opposite was I was missing a chance to revel in the love that I feel, to grow the love that I feel. And when I realized that I was missing that chance, and that was having an effect on other people, that has an effect on Elise. I'm convinced. She slept late today and she woke up without coughing once. Didn't cough all day. She was coughing a little tonight when she went back to sleep. But I'm convinced that my focus has an effect on her. So if I'm playing the angry tape, I'm spending energy and time on something that does not bear the same fruit. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at today. It's been a big day. It's a bit of a relief to be finished. And now I get to dive into all the rest of it. But I was so grateful for the post I did yesterday, and for the reception I've been getting from those of you who've commented on this last sort of little series of posts about being addicted to our thoughts. I was having a conversation with a dear friend this morning about how we can be just as addicted to our mind as we can be to a drug. And the fact that it is our mind, it's still exactly the same. It's still perfectly appropriate to call it addiction, even though it's something that's just happening biochemically within our brain or within our body. It is exactly the same as though we are ingesting something that makes us feel that way. I'm not saying that there might not be biological consequences to putting an external substance in our body, but it's the same. You can be just as addicted to thoughts as we can to a drug. And thoughts and emotions. And realizing that is a big deal, because they all come with a cost. All of that comes with a cost. I heard somebody speaking recently, and they gave a beautiful definition of addiction. He said that addiction is the progressive narrowing of the things that give us pleasure. And I love that, because it really describes the trajectory we're on when we're giving in to addiction. Our reality is narrowing, our life is narrowing, our world is getting smaller. And that's what I felt when I was like, I'm sitting here making myself angry by thinking about stuff, and I could be loving my heart could be expanding. I could be loving my daughter for an hour and a half every morning instead of sitting here being pissed off. Oh my God. What a cost. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for engaging. Those of you who've been commenting and kind of resonating with this, I appreciate the thoughts. I'm very glad that this is speaking to you, and I just I want to continue the conversation. So love you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.